Hello, everyone, and thank you for coming to today's Play Attention webinar. My name is Gwen Sorley, and I do appreciate all of you taking some time out today to discuss your business planning for 2020. As many of you know, because I'm looking through our list, this is a really special webinar because it is only for our current clients. Those professionals that are currently using Play Attention. So I really wanted to take some time right now to connect with you and to talk about your business plan for 2020 and how you can look at some different strategies in that you can enhance what you're currently offering. And when you think about business planning, it is a really important step when you own your own business or you're working in a company, because it gives you greater clarity on all aspects of your business. It gives you clarity not only on your marketing, your finances, but the services that you offer. So it really provides you and any staff members a roadmap to success. And it's important to start planning now, because I know a lot of times we'll have good intentions and we'll think, oh, I'm definitely going to write down that marketing plan before the year starts. And then all of a sudden you look up and it's April 2020 and you didn't get around to doing that marketing plan. So I'm hoping that today, by the end of the webinar, I have given you some tips and some strategies that you can start implementing on Monday. So hopefully this will guide you to that roadmap for success. And there are a couple of things I want to mention. One is that we are recording this event. So at any time, if you have any questions, please do type your questions in the chat box. You'll receive the recording at the end of the webinar. We'll send out an email that will have that recording. So two things, we'll have that recording for you, and there is a chat feature. If you scroll down to the bottom of your screen, click on that chat icon, and you can chat with me, and I'll address your questions as we proceed through. So we're going to discuss today 5 ways that you can enhance your business plan. We'll be talking about goal setting. We'll talk about having a clear focus and mission, how to enhance the client experience, how to build word of mouth, and also how to expand your marketing efforts. These are the 5 areas that we're going to touch on today. First, we should talk about what your goals are. Goal setting, you hear about it all the time, and I'm sure even when you're working with your students or your clients, you have them write out goals or you set goals for them. And it's really important in business because, of course, business goals provide you and your staff with a clear focus and a roadmap to success. So when you're thinking about your goals, think about what are your goals for 2020? Are you going to try to attract more clients, expand your marketing efforts, or increase your revenue, or perhaps all of the above? Now, goal setting is great. However, there are some steps that can actually help you be successful in actually achieving those goals. So I'm going to provide some steps and strategies that you can use to make certain not only do you have goals in mind, but you have steps in place that will help you achieve those goals. First of all, you and your staff members, and I say you and your staff members, but I know some of you here are a sole business owner. You are running the show. So if you don't have staff members working with you, just make certain that you are taking some time to sit down and go through these strategies yourself. And then if you have a friend or a colleague or a spouse, a partner, someone you can bounce your ideas off of, that always helps. So brainstorm specific goals you want to achieve in 2020. And I highlighted the word specific because you don't want just a broad general goal. You want to know exactly what you're working towards. Once you brainstorm, and you may have a very long list of goals, once you brainstorm that list, then go back through that list and narrow it down to maybe the top 5. Once you have the top 5 goals for 2020, start prioritizing them. what is the most important goal that we should work towards, and then work from there. It's very important to prioritize your goals so you, again, have a clearer focus. You should not only write the goal, but what are the steps you need to take in order to reach that goal? It's great to have a goal, but if you don't have the steps in place that are necessary to reach that, it may be unattainable. So make certain you take time now to actually write the steps that you are going to take in order to reach those goals. And as you write down the steps, you might even assign each step to a staff member or to yourself if you are a one-man show. So go ahead and write the steps, and then write down who is responsible for taking that step. Also, write down how you're going to track and measure your progress or your success. That's really important because this is going to help when you're reflecting later on what works and what doesn't work. Create a realistic schedule. So once you go through these first few steps, you might look at your goals and the steps needed to achieve them and think, there's way too much even for 1 year for the available staffing and what we can really do. So if we look at each goal and each step and we break it down into a calendar so that we have specific times we need to reach each step, and it just looks like too much, then you may need to even step back a little bit and go down to 4 goals or maybe 3 goals, depending on how big each goal is. So make certain that you have prioritized, you have the steps, and then set up a calendar in which you're going to take each step. Once you've achieved a goal, make certain that you take the time to celebrate your successes. And all the way through the process, you should be documenting what worked and what could be improved. Because next year, you're going to go through this process again, setting goals for 2021, and it will really help you if you had documented what really went well in 2020 and what needs to be improved. That will help your roadmap for the following year. And try not to wait until the very end of the year to do this reflection practice, because you have a million things on your plate and it's easy to forget. So make certain to keep notes so that you have a record of everything that worked and what didn't work. So here is your first step. Monday, perhaps you could get together with you and your staff and start goal setting. Just brainstorm the goals you would like to achieve in 2020 and let everyone kind of generate their own ideas and just keep a running list. We'll go back to that list later and refine it, but just get all of your general ideas down for goals for 2020 on Monday. Next, you want to make certain you have a clear focus and mission. Now, this really goes hand in hand with your goal setting, because by identifying the purpose of your work, you can better understand the goals that you have and what you and your staff members should be committed to accomplishing. So there are some things that you want to keep in mind, especially when we're talking about your focus. There are so many things we would like to do, so many things we can do. Sometimes we get distracted by the amount of things that we want to do or the amount of individuals we want to serve. So it's really important that everyone knows your focus. What is your specialty? So some things to consider when you're working through your focus and your mission is to decide, who are your clients? Do you work with only children? Do you work with only adolescents or only adults? Do you work with all of the above? Are you going to really target the aging population and work with individuals who now may have early signs of dementia? Are you going to specialize with children with autism? Who are your clients? Have a very specific client base that you are working with. Now, There may be other individuals that you want to perhaps reach later on, but start with a clear focus. Who are your clients? And make certain that everyone is on the same page. Once you've identified your clients, what do you offer? What can you realistically offer, right? You offer play attention training. Do you offer anything else? Do you do any academic tutoring? I know some of you here are also occupational therapists. Some of you are vision therapists. I know that some of you do study skills. Some of you just do peak performance training. So you incorporate this with sports activities. So think about what you offer. So you should be able to identify your clients, and then you and all of your staff members should be able to clearly define what you offer. And try not to go beyond the scope of that, because you don't want to make promises to potential clients that you cannot keep. You also want to be able to clearly describe what the expected outcomes are and be very realistic with these as well. If you are focused on your play attention cognitive training, then you know that the expected outcomes are improved executive function, improved self-regulation. Do we see improvements in grades? Absolutely we do. Now, typically that's not because we're making them smarter. Usually many of the clients we work with are average to well above average in intelligence. They're already very bright. But what you're doing with your play attention training is that you're actually giving them the foundational skills they need in order to show what they know. So do we often see those improved academic scores? Yes, we do. But make certain you know exactly what you can do and what you can't. And if you are a specialist in dyslexia, maybe you'll see improvements in that area as well. So make certain you're very clear on what the expected outcomes can be, and never overreach, because if you overreach and you state outcomes that you're not really sure you can achieve, then that may come back and be a negative thing for you. Also, be able to clearly describe what makes you better. Now, you, again, as I mentioned, all of you here today are a play attention professional. So I can tell you right now that you offer the only program that integrates real-time feedback, right? Your neurocognitive training program integrates real-time feedback with that body wave armband with cognitive skill training and behavior shaping. That's what sets you apart from anyone else out there. You have that integration of feedback-based technology with cognitive skill training and behavior shaping. So it's like you take the best of all teaching methods and incorporate them into one comprehensive program. So make certain you look at who's in your area, because you're going to have parents or potential adult clients that come to you and they're going to say, how are you different than this group or this center? Make certain that you can articulate what makes you different, what sets you apart, what expertise do you bring to the table that makes you better and achieve those results. Now, once you have a clear focus, you can talk about your mission. And there are some things that you want to include in your mission statement. First, you'll include the vision or the mission of your company, a list of core values that shapes your company, and also a statement of your goals and objectives. And oftentimes you'll see now on websites that companies actually have their mission statement posted. And that's something I know that a lot of your potential clients will be looking at. What is your mission and what are your values? So Monday, you are going to do your brainstorming on goal setting. On Tuesday, you and your staff members could get together and chat about your mission and values. Make certain you take down, again, everyone's ideas and just jot them down. If you have a big whiteboard, we often do that here at the office. We have a big whiteboard. All the ideas go up on the whiteboard. And then as we go through the process, we just start refining these ideas and these statements. So on Tuesday, just get everyone's general idea to give you all a clearer vision and a clearer focus. I also want to talk about enhancing the client experience. I want to make certain that you are utilizing all of the features that you currently have at your fingertips within Play Attention. So I'm going to go through this list, and it really is at this point a list, and I'm just going to briefly describe each area. But if you would like to attend our webinar that is next week for current clients, we're going to really delve into each of these areas even further. So if you want to be registered for that webinar and you have not yet registered for that, go ahead and type in webinar and we'll make certain that you're registered for that webinar. Because that really, like I said, is going to go more in depth into these different features. So are you doing a pre, mid, and post evaluation? Remember, we have the focus evaluation available to you. Focus is a norm reference test of attentional control, and it is computer-based. It takes about 20 minutes in length, and your clients can take them right in your office. And at the end of that assessment, you'll receive a full report that tells you how this individual's performance compares to that of the performance of his peers. And you can use that right away to actually sit down with the parents of that individual, or if it's an adult, sit down and look at those results right then with that individual, go through the results, talk about the different areas. You're going to talk about their performance, their consistency, their ability to deal with distractions, and their impulse control. All of this is in a report. And, you know, it's been amazing because we do this a lot with our clients. And so many times a parent will say to me, I didn't think you would be able to tell anything about my child from a 20-minute test, and you nailed him. So it really does help the parent to see everything kind of in black and white. And then it gives you a starting point, a discussion point. This is what we're seeing in the assessment. He's lower than the norm in the area of consistency. That means typically that this individual, your child, may have a hard time starting and completing assignments in a timely manner. So is 15 minutes of homework taking 2 or 3 hours every night? And the parent will say, absolutely. Okay. So since this is an area of concern, we're going to put attention stamina, time on task, and the academic bridge into his customized program. So not only does it give you an evaluation and an assessment, a report you can share with the parent and start a discussion, or the adult and start that discussion, but then you're saying, okay, this is what we know, and this is what we're going to do for you. So it's really going to help you convert that potential client into a client because they clearly understand the roadmap to success that you are laying out for them. And it really makes them know that you've cared enough to spend some time with them and get to know their child or themselves a little bit better. Now, also, you may want to consider the brief. I've been using that with clients lately. And it is a very simple online evaluation. And the individual, if they're above the age of 11, can take the brief, or it can be completed by a parent or a teacher, and it really assesses executive function. So that is something that I've been using, and I've really enjoyed using the combination. So you can look into the brief that's online. Or if you want to become accredited in the focus assessment, you can contact us because we can help you actually register for that focus accreditation and get started. Are you customizing each client's program? you know that, and hopefully all of you here today are in version 6 of Play Attention. I know many of you here have been with us for many, many years, 15 plus years you've been with us. And because I see some of the names coming on the screen. So I know some of you have been with us since version 4. So hopefully you've all upgraded now to 6, and you see how easy it is to customize each client's profile. You'll go in, you'll create your student, and you'll highlight those activities that are most important for that individual. You'll also put in how many activities that individual is going to work on each session. And then Sheer Genius does the rest, right? Sheer Genius selects the most appropriate activities for that day based on previous performance. It's all done for you, but you have to take the time to customize that plan first. Also, make certain that you're following the best coaching practices. And like I said, a lot of the best coaching practices are on our help desk, but also you'll get some of those reminders at the webinar next week. Are you incorporating Academic Bridge? I want all of you to think about Academic Bridge in your core program. Are you using it? Because this is really essential to help with that transfer and generalization. Remember, this is where you're going to have that individual do reading, spelling, math. And remember, that body wave armband does not know where the eyes are, knows how attentive that individual is. So as long as they're paying attention to their reading or their writing or their math, they're going to hear from the computer, good, great. If they start to drift, they're going to hear focus. So now what you're doing is you're actually having them practice all of the skills that they're learning within Play Attention and apply them to real life activities. This is essential in the learning process. So make certain that you and your other coaches are using Academic Bridge. Make certain when you select the material for Academic Bridge, you're selecting material that is on their independent level, because you're not going to be teaching them how to read or teaching them how to do math. You're going to teach them how to pay attention to the reading or the spelling or the math. And this can be so customized. I work with one adult client, and she is a day trader. So she uses it while she's day trading. So she's only making her trades at her peak attentive state. I have another individual who's an adult client who uses it while he's practicing the piano. So you can use this in a lot of different, unique, fun ways. Are you using the circle of success? This is in where you customize the client's profile, where you're going to input the email addresses of teachers, parents, mentors, grandparents. And when you put the information in there, then you can easily email reports to these individuals right from your Play Attention session. So make certain you're incorporating the circle of success. Make certain you use that reward system. You know that there's goal setting, and then if they reach their mini goal that's set by Sheer Genius, they actually earn a point, and that point goes into their bank, and they can use those points to actually purchase rewards later on. Make certain you're utilizing this and get other people involved. It doesn't have to be rewards that you're providing. It could be a reward that the teacher has provided. Earn 10 Play Attention points and get a free homework pass. Earn 15 Play Attention points, and mom will have you select the special dinner for Friday night. So make certain you get other people involved. This is just like the circle of success. The more people you get involved in this process, the better. It's really going to help with transfer and generalization and the positive feelings that individual has as he's going through this learning process. Are you sharing the data reports? There is a lot of data that is stored on Play Attention. So make certain that you are sharing those data reports for all of these individuals, and you can email them to your circle of success right from the program. And make certain that you use the journal at the end of the session. I can't stress this enough. A lot of people kind of pass over the journal, kind of like when you go to the gym and you do your workout routine and then you kind of pass over the stretching at the end. It's critical part of your process, as is the journal is critical to the learning process, okay? So when you get to the end of a session, make certain you're giving them time to reflect, because reflection is actually going to help them assimilate the knowledge that they've learned and start applying it in other areas, and help them be very specific. You know, what did you learn today? Of course, I've been there. I've worked with many students over the past 20 plus years, and their first response is usually, I don't know. I don't know what I learned. Help them be really specific on that. Well, what happened when you started to fidget? Or what happened when Mr. Foster walked into the room? Well, the character started to float up. So what does that mean? It means I'm not paying attention. So in the classroom, when you do that, what does that mean? That I'm distracted by people around me. So make certain that you're helping them with that reflection and helping them be very specific. Debbie, all of these activities and strategies that I'm discussing can be implemented with college students and adults as well. Everything that we've discussed so far, customizing their plan, using the focus assessment, using the academic bridge, all of these strategies can be applied to both children and adults. If you have specific questions though, please do ask. Now also, in addition to what's already in your Play Attention program, have you incorporated the add-on modules? Now remember, the first 6 activities come standard in the core. The remaining 6 are options for you that you can pick and choose from, including auditory processing. Working memory is probably one of our most popular ones. Social skills, spatial memory, motor skills, hand-eye coordination. We also have math facts for 1st and 2nd grades. Have you considered expanding your program and incorporating these activities into your profiles? Because remember, not everyone in your center will need social skills, but there will be a handful of them that will benefit from it. And you can, when you're customizing their plan, if you have many different activities, you can set up that customized plan even better. Also, have you incorporated Lotus? Remember that Lotus is our mindfulness app, and this is actually going to teach them how to keep their mind in the present moment. And that's what Lotus is for. It is another program that you can simply download into your program. And as long as that individual is in the present moment, they're able to open that Lotus petal. If they start thinking about what they need to get done after this session, what time's their next appointment, what's for dinner, what is the homework assignment tonight, that petal will start to close because they're no longer in the present moment. And then you have to actually focus back in and start opening that again. In addition to Lotus, we also have Media Player. Now, I've had someone mention that my volume or my mic is an issue. Can everyone hear me okay? Can you just let me know that you can hear me okay? Or are you having a hard time hearing me? You can hear me okay? Sounds good? Okay. Okay, good. All right, it may have been when I was playing that video, I wonder. All right, so now we talked about the add-on modules. We also talked about Lotus. And remember, there's also Media Player. Media Player is a really great application. And I don't know, some of you may not have seen it yet, but it is actually a supplement. So it won't actually incorporate into your Play Attention dashboard like the other activities. This will actually be a separate program on your desktop, but you still will use the body wave armband. So your clients will still be wearing that body wave armband. And this allows you to pull in any media file. It can be an auditory media file. It can be an actual video. It could be a TED Talk. It could be an ebook, an audio book. It could be any type of media file. And what the media player allows you to do is actually control that media file with your attention. So a lot of times our clients, our professional clients, will use this as part of their listening and reading comprehension program. So they'll pull in different audiobooks and they will pull it into media player. And then once that individual is paying attention, the audiobook is going to play and they're going to be able to hear the story. Now, if their mind starts to wander, if they're not as attentive, then the media file will stop. That audiobook will stop. It will wait for them to focus in. Once they regain their attention, then the media file will start again. So you're practicing listening skills, you're practicing watching a video or being able to follow through with verbal instructions. As long as you're paying attention, that media file will continue. If you're not paying attention, it will stop. So really fun activity that truly will enhance your reading and listening comprehension programs. Also, we have the iLab. If you have, I know many of you have been considering iLab because what iLab allows you to do is, of course, offer group training and also offer distance training. So if you want to increase the number of clients you can work with in a session, then iLab would be ideal for you. It's really fantastic because it will allow you to manage small groups very easily. So you see here on the screen that this coach right here is working with 5 different students during a session. And that coach has a computer in front of her, and she is actually getting real-time streaming data from all of her students as they're working. So it will say, Becky has been working on attention stamina for 5 minutes and she's 72% attentive. It will give you real-time alerts. Mike has been idle for 2 minutes, then you know you need to go address Mike. And not only can you work with these individuals here in your setting, in your office, but you can also do distance training. So if an individual has the body wave system at home and iLab capability set up with you, then you will actually be able to work on a live session via the internet with iLab. So you could have 5 students in your lab and you could have one that's actually joining your session 1,500 miles away. So a great way to actually expand the number of people that you can work with in an individual session. Now, really important point here, we've talked about very specific features that you can be incorporating and things that are available to you. But at the end of the day, it's important to also brainstorm and make certain that your students are having fun. When they are having fun, their learning is much more memorable because it was enjoyable. And they remember what you said. They remember what they learned. They were having fun while learning. And if you look at that second paragraph, that happiness and positive emotions actually create dopamine and serotonin, which helps with memory and helps create those new neural connections. So make certain that you and your staff come up with some fun ways to encourage higher levels of achievement and celebrate successes. Also, your students will be having fun, but you'll be having fun as well. Fun at work for all of us is important. So Wednesday, make certain that you review your student sessions and talk about what are you doing right now during your sessions, what's working well, and what would you like to start incorporating that maybe you forgot about or maybe you hadn't really implemented yet. So on Wednesday, get together and review those student sessions. Build word of mouth. This is the next area that we're going to talk about because word of mouth marketing is very important to your business strategy. And if we just look at some of the statistics, you might be surprised. You might know that, some of your clients, you could even think of them, came to you because they heard from this family or their friend had gone through the program with you and they had learned about your services through their friend because their friend had a lot of successes. So word of mouth is really important, especially when you're working within a community. If you look at the statistics, 92% of consumers believe suggestions from friends and family more than advertising. So word of mouth is more important than that flyer that you put up in the post office advertising your services, right? Word of mouth, getting that positive word of mouth going. Beyond friends and family, 88% of people trust online reviews just as much as they trust recommendations from people they know. So it's important to look at that as well. And 74% of consumers identify word of mouth as a key influencer in their decision-making process. So this is really important to think about and start really looking at how you as a company can get that word of mouth spread. Because I'm sure you all have wonderful success stories. Now, how are you going to get that information out there? That's important because only 33% of businesses are actually actively seeking out and devising ways to spread that word of mouth. So important for you to look at. Here's some ideas. Make certain you're providing a service that gives the client something to talk about. Make it easy for your clients to post a review on your social media or on your website. If you go to Play Attention's Facebook page, you'll see that you can easily post a review and a rating there. You can do the same for your center. Ask your clients directly for quotes or video testimonials that can be used in your marketing. Be an active part of your community. Offer free workshops, sponsor a community event. There are a lot of different things you can do within your community that will start people talking about you and how you've helped them in this capacity. And then someone will say, oh, well, we went to his center and we got really great results. So build and be an active part of your community. Also, of course, invite local media in to do a success story. Local media is typically really actively searching for success stories, those feel-good stories that they can put into their TV news or the newspaper. So make certain you invite local media to get a highlight of a success story and get those ratings on your site. You could also offer e-gift cards or some type of incentive if one of your clients gives a referral. So on Thursday, now I'm giving you a lot of to do in a week, but on Thursday, just brainstorm. And the steps that I've given you so far, Monday through Thursday so far, these don't have to be long meetings, just short little exercises to get you thinking and get you started on your business plan for 2020. So on Thursday, just think about a list of people that you can contact who would be happy to give you a review that you can use in your marketing. Finally, we're going to look at how you can expand your marketing efforts. And I know that this can be a daunting task because marketing is changing all the time. And you are so busy working with students, working with clients, it's sometimes very difficult to fit in the marketing end. Maybe some of you have a marketing person on staff. If you do, fantastic. Let's look at what that individual is doing and see if we can expand upon that. If it's just you or if it's just a handful of you, I know you're really stretched thin. So take it slow and see what you're doing and see if there are a few components that you can start incorporating this coming year. First of all, embrace social media. So this gives you a platform where you can connect with your clients and you can keep them up to date on your center and also offer tips that they can like or share. That will really start the word spreading a little bit more about your center and your services. So make certain that you do start looking at the different social media platforms, what you're currently doing and what you can improve. And it's important that if you do have a Facebook page, keep it active. Don't set up a Facebook page and then leave it and don't post anything for 2 months. Make certain you're getting in there, you're posting something every week, and you're keeping up with individuals who may be sending in inquiries from your Facebook page. Start a blog. This is a great way to get followers and also provides you another venue where you can connect with people. It also allows people to start seeing you as the expert in the area. Blog writing can be an excellent format for you to chat about your expertise. Send out weekly newsletters to your email list. So even if you've had a client, maybe he came in and he was considering your services, wasn't ready to sign up that day, but you have his contact information, get him signed up for a newsletter, keep connected with that individual. Build that email list so that you can keep connected. Send out those weekly newsletters so that they know about different resources that are available, events, and information about your center. Continually grow that email list. There's a lot of different ways that you can do that by offering gift cards or service raffle. So those who sign up for your email newsletter, they have a chance to win something. That's a great way to actually get the word out there and start expanding your email list, because the larger your email list, the more you're able to get out there and keep your name, your service, your center in front of them. Offer a free workshop. I know a lot of you here today do this at a local school or sometimes a library. And it doesn't have to be about play attention. You could do maybe a free workshop on reading comprehension. That will draw people in. Have a free workshop where you draw people in, and at the end of that workshop, they have a take home, they've learned about that reading comprehension, and also you tie in your services, what you can provide, what you offer. That's a great way to get in touch with people and really get their attention, and again, develop a rapport with individuals in your community. And make certain you interact with local support groups. Those can be any CHAD groups you may have, or any support groups for homeschool activities. So make certain you look into your support groups and become an active member. Do a press release. Every time your business has something to talk about, make certain you do a press release and spread that word, because that is an easy way to get your information out free of charge, actually. So make certain every time you are doing something with your company or you have a new success story, get that press release out. Have a YouTube channel. That's where you can post all of your promotional videos and your video testimonials, and join a relevant online community. Now, make certain that when you're part of this community, you're not just chatting about yourself and your services, because that's really not what they're looking for when you're on an online community. Just talk about the information that's relevant. Again, you're developing yourself as the expert in the field, the expert in the local community. So offer your expertise, your knowledge. Every once in a while, what you do, what you offer will come up, but don't only focus on yourself. Be a provider of information in those online communities. And offer a free assessment or consultation or a demonstration of Play Attention or the other services that you provide. That's a great way to get people in the door and then help them see the great program that you have and the roadmap that you can provide for them. Now, I know all of that information on marketing can be daunting, and you think, there's not enough time in the day for me to do all of that. So remember, we do have the certified provider option for you. And the certified provider option is basically our prepackaged marketing program for you. We have a bronze level, a silver level, and a gold level. And I think the incredible thing about this is that you get an enormous amount of marketing materials, marketing demonstrations that are all prepackaged for you. You get training through webinars and through one-on-one consultations on how to present Play Attention to your community, how to do the focus assessment and then turn that into a client. So it really is a great package. So if you've been struggling with the marketing aspect of your program, because I know, like I said earlier, you're busy with your clients, you're busy working with your clients, and you are a fantastic educator, you're a fantastic counselor, you're a fantastic psychologist, but marketing is a whole nother profession, and it takes time and it takes money. And so if you want to look at our certified provider program and getting pre-packaged customizable marketing materials, and you'll receive fresh materials every month, this is a program you may want to consider. And these are just some examples of the materials that you will be provided in those different programs. So Friday, we're already to Friday, assess your current marketing channels, make a list of what you're currently doing, and then select just 3 new marketing strategies you want to incorporate into 2020. Just 3. Think about that. Look at what you're doing and think about just 3 that you can incorporate into 2020. So here is kind of the roadmap we talked about for you, your plan of action to get your business plan for 2020 down on paper. Now remember, we talked about procrastination, and you don't want to procrastinate, because as soon as you look up the next time, it's going to be July 2020 and you haven't gotten your business plan down yet. So take some steps. Monday, have that goal setting with staff. Tuesday, chat about your mission and your values. Wednesday, review your student sessions. Are you doing the most you can to enhance your client experience? Thursday, decide who you can contact for those reviews. What clients, current clients or past clients, can you reach out to and see if they would mind doing a quote or a success story or a video testimonial that you can use in your marketing material? Remember, word of mouth is important to you. And Friday, assess your current marketing channels and then select 3 that you want to incorporate into 2020. So I hope that this gives you a little bit of a clearer idea of how you can get started and just start getting some notes down. Of course, you're not going to be done with your business plan by the end of next week, but this will give you some things to start chatting about, start thinking about, start getting down on paper. And then for the rest of the month, start refining your plan so that you have clarity on all aspects of your program.